Alright, so last one I'm going to do is the inverse section. So looking at 30, it says the inverse of x squared is a positive square root of x. So if you all remember, x squared looks like this, and then square root of x looks like this. So when you graph the line y equals x, these functions right here in the first quadrant are inverses of each other. We always restrict this domain to be x is greater than or equal to 0. And then in this first quadrant here, you can see they're inverses of each other. Because if you draw the line y equals x, it'll flip right over itself. So this one is true. And then it says the domain of the square root function is x is greater than 0. And that's also true because we just said that. So that guy's true. Alright, so let's look at number 32. We have g of x equals the square root of x plus 5 minus 3. Part A, it says find the inverse, so that's the 4-step problem. Step number 1, you're going to change this to y equals the square root of x plus 5 minus 3. Step number 2, change the x and the y. Step number 3, solve for y, so I'm going to add 3. And then I'm going to square both sides. And then to get y by itself, I'm going to subtract 5. Now, don't FOIL this out because I want it to look like a quadratic equation. I know a lot of my kids are making that mistake. So this looks like a parabola that went left 3, down 5. And so my last step is I'm going to write it in function notation. So you have x plus 3 squared minus 5. Alright, so let me go ahead and graph. So square root of x plus 5, this means my point's going to go left 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and down 3. 1, 2, 3. There's my point. Now I'm going to pick another point so I can connect my graph. I want to pick something I can easily take the square root of. So if I picked 1, no, not 1. Let's see. 4? How about 4? At x equals 4, right? Because 5 plus 4 is 9. The square root of 9 is 3. So 3 minus 3 is 0. So your y is 0. So I'm going to pick x is 4. Y is 0, and then just connect my graph. Just like that. Now my domain is from, so this is the graph of my regular function. So this is g of x. Let me go ahead and map it. Now my domain is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you go from negative 5 to infinity. And my range is 1, 2, 3. So negative 3 to infinity. And remember what I said about the domain and range? They flip. So this is going to be negative 3 to the infinity for the inverse. And this is going to be negative 5 to infinity for the inverse. So now I'm just going to flip these points to draw the graph. So this point right here, the vertex is negative 5, negative 3. My vertex of my inverse is now going to be negative 3, negative 5. So negative 3, 1, 2, 3, negative 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And this point that we picked here was 4, 0. So now it's going to be 0, 4 for my inverse. So this is my function, and this is my inverse. So 0, 4, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Right? So it's just going to look just like this. Oops, I kind of missed it, sorry. So it makes sense because if I draw the line y equals x right here, it's going to reflect right on top of it. Alright, so that's my domain and my range, and that's my graph. So they want to know, is my inverse a function? If I do the vertical line test on my inverse, does it only hit at one point? Yes, so that is true. Alright guys, good luck studying. Hope this helped with your review. If you guys have any questions, please let any of your teacher know. Good luck. Bye.